AgilePM Foundation Lesson 9, Fixed Duration Projects.
The problem we were talking about in the previous lesson was this 45% disaster. And one of the ways we talked about that can prevent this problem is the Moscow prioritization. As you may have guessed, the Moscow prioritization really helps us with this if we combine it with a fixed duration project. Do you know this triangle? It's very common, it's a classic. We have the features or scope, time, cost, and quality. And it is shown like this because when you change one of those, you have to change at least one other to make the whole system balanced again. For example, if you want to reduce duration, you have to cut your scope, spend more money, or reduce the level of quality, or any combination of them. But you should do one of them. In a more traditional approach, our features or scope is fixed. We really want to fix the quality, but we can never do that. That's why it is shown in two colors here. And time and cost have targets, but they are not fixed in most cases. In certain cases, we may have fixed duration. For example, if you want to build the complex and everything for Olympic Games, then you have a really hard deadline and it's not negotiable. But in most cases, what happens if you don't have enough time? You will just extend time. The problem with this system is that for IT development, most importantly, if you spend too much time, then we won't have enough time to use the product. And on the other hand, if we just feel free to spend as much time as we want, then we will start working on super fancy features and we will create that 45% problem. So instead of using this system, DSTM uses that. And in that system, we use a fixed duration with a fixed cost, and we can afford to fix the quality. And so the only thing that is dynamic, the only flexible thing in our system of constraints is the scope. We set the duration and the cost, and we go on through the project, and we will deliver as many features as we can. It's a little crazy, I know, but that's good. That really prevents that problem. So, how do we do that? We start with the must-haves and then the should-haves and then the could-haves. And we need to have enough flexibility in our project because all must-haves must be delivered, right? So if we don't have enough time to deliver some of the must-haves, that's a disaster in our project. So when we are forming the project initially, the rule in DSTM is that we shouldn't have more than 60% of the features as must-haves. And we should have about 20% of the features identified as could-haves. That creates enough flexibility in our project. So that's how we can have this system. We go on, we make sure that we are delivering all the must-haves, and we really like to deliver all the should-haves, and we'll see what we can do with the could-haves. Not every could-have will be in the 45%, you know, some of them, many of them. And this concept we talked about, the concept of having a fixed duration, is another principle in DSTM, deliver on time. This system of having a fixed duration belongs to DSTM. You don't have to use it in every agile system, but it's necessary to be used in DSTM. And in here, you see many things are different. Some people act in a way as if agile projects are just different, and they work like hippies, to be honest. It's chaotic. They don't have any monitoring. They don't have any control. What do you think about that? Is it right?